Harry's back at Hogwarts for his junior year in the 5th film installment of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter books, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Harry and the actor who has played him from the start, Daniel Radcliffe, are growing up. In Harry's case, he's growing with impatience and inner rage, a very recognizable teenager, as the Potter stories grow darker and darker, this time in the hands of director David Yates. Although all the favorite Potter characters make their appearance, much of the film is taken up with the transformation of the school by Dolores Umbridge, Imelda Staunton, in a satiric thrust at the current takeovers in our world by bureaucrats and administrators.
Please describe the attack.
Everything went cold, as though all the happiness had gone from the world.
Now look here, Dementors don't just wander into a muggle suburb and happen across a wizard. The odds are astronomical.
I don't think anyone would believe that Dementors were there by coincidence, Minister.
I'm sure I must have misunderstood you, Professor. Dementors are, after all, under the control of the Ministry of Magic. It's so silly of me, but it sounded for a moment as though you were suggesting that the Ministry had ordered the attack on this boy.
That would be disturbing indeed, Madam Undersecretary, which is why I'm sure the Ministry will be mounting a full-scale inquiry into why the two Dementors were so very far from Azkaban and why they mounted an attack without authorization. Of course, there is someone who might be behind the attack. Cornelius, I implore you to see reason. The evidence that the Dark Lord has returned is incontrovertible. He's not back.
This was one of those fascinating films. I really did like the film, and it was fine. All of the films really have been fine, but it's great to compare them to each other.
Isn't it?
Now, we've got in Yates here really what amounts to be a first-time director. He's done some few films.
It's like English television, yeah.
A lot of English television stuff. I've written a column a couple of months ago, and I've said on this show, there are two ways to do adaptations. There is one big no-no in a 2-hour film, and that is to try to get the whole book in there.
Right.
And that's the problem with this film. It goes off in so many different directions.
Right.
And it introduces you to all the old characters, and then there's a little incident with them, and then they disappear. And there is no explanation as to why they disappear.
I think it's actually, I found it's strange for a film with a very strong female villain. I found that the female touch was kind of missing from this one. They keep introducing these like interesting young ladies that you hope are going to be part of the thing. That actually, I think these stories need a love story at this point, but I guess it's not, it's not in the books. So.
Well, there is almost with Harry and
with that one girl who's like in there for 3 scenes or something.
But who then again, as so many characters in this film disappear. Emma Thompson disappears. I know. She's living there. What happens to her?
Yeah, well, basically, you know what I think, though? I did enjoy the surface. I think dark is the way these films ought to be. And so, as a result, this is, I think, my second favorite in the film series after the Quaron. There's a lot of the points they made about Staunton and her misrule over Hogwarts was, I thought that she had certain elements of Margaret Thatcher and Gertrude Himmelfarb to her. And, I think that, what's the other thing I was thinking? I think Rupert Grint is becoming a very good actor. And he really, his Ron Weasley keeps stealing scene after scene after scene. And I think it's a pity that English people can't take a red-haired person seriously. Because I kept watching Grint, who looked like, he looked so more sure and suave than the hero. And I kept waiting for him to get, like, to maybe take over the picture if that was possible.
Well, I think Daniel Radcliffe did a marvelous job.
He's very good.
Yeah, he's good. I strongly recommend this. It's just that they really just should have done what the other films did, which is just loosed certain subplots and characters, because it's just too much to try to put into a 2-hour film.
Yeah, I think so.